John Actie still lives in Buttetown. I met him in Loudon Square, not far from the site of the famous Casablanca nightclub that was at the heart of this community back in the 1980s. The square is halfway up Butte Street, at one end of which is the James Street flat Lynette White was murdered in back in 1988. The murder would change the course of John's life forever, along with those of his cousin Ronnie, Tony Paris, Yusuf Abdullahi and Stephen Miller. John has few doubts about the role racism played in their arrests by South Wales Police.
I believe race played a big major part right from the beginning. Do you know what I mean? It was 5 black guys that was looking for a white guy. But they didn't, no one tried to expose it or, they kept it very low. Do you know what I mean? But, a major part.
John hopes the BBC Wales documentary will tell their story to a new audience.
I just want the people to realise, what happened to us was a wicked, wicked thing. And what South Wales Police done and got away with it was beyond.
But he believes his experience still affects perceptions of South Wales Police today in communities like his in Buttetown.
They haven't got no confidence in the police. After they've seen what happened to us, how they fitted us up, people ain't got no confidence in the police. They think, yeah, they're good.
The Cardiff Five story has already been told through Kerry Jackson's Shred's Murder in the Docks podcast for BBC Sounds. That series is 13 episodes long, so to summarise the story, Lynette White was a sex worker who often worked in the docks area of Buttetown in Cardiff. Just 20 years old, in February 1988, Lynette White was found brutally murdered in a James Street flat. Police quickly established as their prime suspect a white man seen leaving the scene of the crime, covered in blood and looking shaken. Police were, however, unable to identify or find this man. Months later, South Wales Police arrested John Actie, Ronnie Actie, Tony Paris, Yusuf Abdullahi and Stephen Miller for Lynette White's murder. Stephen Miller endured an interrogation later described as bullying and oppressive at Miller's eventual appeal.
And you sit there and say that.
They could lock me up for 50 billion years. I said I was not there.
Because you don't want to be there.
No, I was not there.
You don't want to be there.
I was not there.
As soon as you say that you're there, you know you're involved.
I was not there.
You know you were involved in it.
I was not involved and I wasn't there.
Yes, you were there.
I was not there.
You were there. That's why Leanne has come up now. Because her conscience is she can't sleep at night. To say you were there that night, looking over her body, seeing what she was like, with the head like she had, and you have got the audacity to sit there and say nothing at all about it.
I was not there.
You know damn well you were there.
I was not there.
Stephen Miller had learning difficulties. After days of being interrogated, Miller confessed to Lynette White's murder and implicated his 4 co-accused. Their first trial was halted after the death of the judge. The second trial, Paris, Abdullahi and Miller were convicted. Having spent 2 years in jail, John and Ronnie Actie were acquitted.
I've been put in jail for 2 years for a crime I did not commit. I don't know anything about. I don't know nothing.
2 years later, Paris, Abdullahi and Miller successfully appealed their convictions. John told me the ordeal affects him to this day.
And I still feel it now. Do you know what I mean? I've been stabbed, I've been shot. I've had the father of the girl come to my house with a shotgun.
How does he feel about South Wales Police all these years later?
I don't have no problems with the race no more. I used to, long time ago, but I don't get that no more often. But there is kids in the area who gets it, so race is still a major factor in South Wales Police.
15 months after the Black Lives Matter movement was sparked by the murder of George Floyd, does he feel South Wales Police have changed?
I believe South Wales Police are trying their best to change, but it's a long, long road for them to change. Do you know what I mean? Look what happened to us. And it's repeated itself over the years since us. Do you know what I mean? So, have they changed? I like to think they changed, you know what I mean? But, I don't think they have.
What then would make a difference?
It's just deep-rooted racism. You know, that's what's in most of these forces. Do you know what I mean? And getting rid of that might solve a lot of the problems, but it's just getting rid of the bad policemen. You know, like I said, there's good policemen out there who wants to do their job, and there's loads and loads of good policemen out there who wants to do their job. But there's also loads and loads of bad policemen out there.
How much trust does Actie have in the Independent Office for Police Conduct to investigate bad police officers?
The IOPC, all they are is just ex-police officers going to a civilian job. There's no confidence in the IOPC.
What about the Crown Prosecution Service's ability to stop the wrong people getting charged?
The Crown Prosecution Service is famous for it. Look what they've done with us. There was no evidence when they charged us. But the police, they're hand in glove with the police, charged us, So the CPS is exactly the same. They're hand in glove with South Wales Police.
The IOPC and CPS declined to be interviewed for this story. South Wales Police also declined to be interviewed, but did provide this statement. South Wales Police say, "We're proud to police a modern, multicultural region. We've made and continue to make significant investments in training and education to ensure officers and staff understand topics such as Black Lives Matter, white privilege, and disproportionality. Making South Wales Police more representative of the communities we serve has been a priority since 2015. Whilst we have made progress during this time, we accept that we still have work to do, but we are moving in the right direction." Seb Bench, CGS News.